in. I've got Chrispus Kimaru with me here in studio. We're talking about his journey out of alcoholism. He was stuck in it for 17 years, and he said, "You know what? This is it. I've got to put an end to this." So when was this day you decided? Oh yeah, we talked about how you met this person, in a church. What happened right after you opened up? He listened. You talked for hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. And what happened? Actually, it was the first time I was getting somebody to listen to me objectively.
Okay.
Somebody who didn't know me. Of course, family members had tried talking to me before,
Yes.
but I always felt like they already they had a lot of information about me, and maybe they were not being objective. And of course, at one point, I'd even gone to a counselor, but I didn't feel like it was helpful.
Okay.
That was when I was employed.
Yes.
My employer had paid a counselor.
But they shout out to employers who literally do that.
Yes,
It's very,
especially the corporates these days, and even the government, TSC, even the others, Kengen and the others, they now support employees who are struggling with the substance addictions.
Yes.
And for me, this was a turnaround. Finally, I found somebody who was listening, somebody who was not judging, somebody. The next day, he was recommending Alcoholic Anonymous. That is a group that started way back in 1935. It is an international organization for people who are struggling with the different types of addictions. You just come, share. There's literature that has been there for a long time. The big book for the Alcoholic Anonymous. There are references to read. And finally, I used to come to Holy Family Basilica in town because I was supported even with the fare and everything. I used to come and just find myself in a community of people who introduced themselves as alcoholics. And for once, I saw somebody calling themselves an alcoholic, and they had been sober for 15 years. And that was an eye-opener. Finally, they were welcoming me. They were asking me whether I wanted to share my story. I wasn't ready. Then I got the confidence with time. And after 3 weeks, I called my sister, Angela. Then I called my mother. And I told them, this time I'm sober. I've stopped drinking for like 2 weeks. And I just wanted to maybe ask for your prayers. You know, anytime I would call any of my relatives, they would think it's about money to drink. So there was a disclaimer first. I'm not asking for money.
Right.
I'm calling to ask for your prayers. Then I can even remember where I was standing when I was calling the two. Then later, after about a month, I called my eldest sister, our firstborn, Kate. The reason I didn't call her first was I had messed her up a lot of times, many times. She had even taken me for detox and rehab, and I relapsed, and she had tried helping in many ways, so I didn't call her first. But after 1 month, I felt like, you know what, now I'm even going to church. I'm feeling optimistic about this. So I called her just to tell her, imagine I'm sober for 1 month. And I thought she would be like, it's not the first time. Just live your life or something. Because where I used to stay in Choka, no one even knew where I was exactly. And she told me, I was surprised. She told me, oh, by the way, we have a function on Saturday. I'm inviting you. Just come over.
Okay.
And when she saw me during that function, of course, there's this suspicion Chris is going to drink. Chris is going to mess up. And I didn't mess up. There was alcohol. I didn't even drink. I wasn't even interested. I even left early. My sister later called me and told me, instead of saying where you are staying, and that's not a good place, why don't you come and stay with me? Because she was living alone with the son, my nephew. And I moved over. And I remember, I laugh when I remember, because when I moved to her house, I had bed bugs. Where I was staying, I used to sleep on the floor on a bed bag ridden mattress. I never discovered there were bed bugs until I stopped drinking. That's when they started biting me, because when you are drunk, you never feel them.
You never feel them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then and I was also struggling with the hallucinations when I, because of the withdrawals, because I didn't use any medication. And it was tough. So my nephew would tell me, hey, Uncle, you are screaming at night, and you are saying there were people hanging from the ceiling and all that.
What?
And those are hallucinations. Those are withdrawals.
Yes.
Auditory, and then there are tactile hallucinations where you feel like things are crawling on your skin.
Oh.
Yeah. Some people even get visual hallucinations. You start seeing things, and I know somebody who even died while trying to run away from such. You believe you're being chased. There's paranoia and all that. Some severe withdrawals can even kill you.
Can catch up with you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then there are the bed bugs. My nephew was telling me, and some things are now biting me. Kwani, what are they? He had never seen a bed bug. So
before, yes.
so I threw away all the clothes that I had to start a new life, and now I had to start a hustle. I was writing. I used to work from a cyber, writing the website article content, blogs, articles and stuff like that. So I remember I requested one of my brothers to support me buy a laptop instead of working from the cyber.
Yes.
And this a brother, I had messed up again. I had messed up everyone, and of course, when I went and I told him the amount of money I wanted, I thought he would tell me, are you crazy? You want such kind of money? I know you're going to drink. He just told me, just come tomorrow. And all of a sudden, he gave me the money. And I felt like, yeah, I can do this.
And they're forgiving you as well.
The family support came through for me. I bought that laptop, I bought a desk, and I remember I cried. All of a sudden, I felt like, God, for once, I now believe that I'm not going to die. For once, I now believe that I'll see my son, and something good will happen. And actually, within the first 3 months, I had already contacted my ex-wife, and I went and saw my son after about 4 or 5 months after that. Okay. And my journey now started.
This 6 years of being very sober, how would you say they are for you? Were they extremely tough? Were they easy? Were they fulfilling? How would you describe this 6 years?
Initially, they were very tough because I also made some mistakes. No, I can't say they were mistakes. They were just decisions made out of lack of information. I was rushing to kind of restore everything that I had. So I got into a relationship very quickly without, first of all, sobering up emotionally, because I had so much pent-up emotions, unresolved issues, low self-esteem, anger issues. I had a bad temper. So even when I got into a relationship, I was not able to resolve, to handle issues comfortably. And then I got into another problem because I really wanted to make money and maybe impress everyone. You see, I got into betting, gambling.
So that's another addiction.
You see, now I had money. I was making money. I wasn't wasting it in drinking. I said, betting is not a bad thing. And of course, I'm enjoying football. I'm a football fan. It started with 50 shillings, went to 1,000, 10,000. At one day, I even lost 52,000 shillings.
My goodness.
One night.
But you overcome that.
I overcame that. I overcame that with time. I'm just saying it hasn't been easy. You know, people expect now you're in recovery. Now things are okay, but it has been so fulfilling because I reconnected with my God. Spiritually, I have grown. Emotionally, I'm doing therapy even now because even as a counselor, I'm supposed to do supervision, or what you call therapy, to resolve the issues that I might have, so as to help other people better. So it has been a very fulfilling journey. Seeing my dad laughing, sitting in the same room laughing, I would never see it. Would never have happened. Seeing my mother not crying now, she's even talking to me, like an adult to an adult, and trusting me with the investments and everything. Seeing my brothers and sisters even looking up to me. Seeing myself standing in front of people and maybe touching even one soul. It's so fulfilling. It's
very fulfilling.
Very fulfilling. And waking up knowing where I am, knowing who I'm sleeping with, if I'm sleeping with somebody. Those things. I never, for so many years, I never knew how I went home or where I was sleeping until maybe 4 a.m. in the morning, where I would start touching around just to know who I was with or
Upate
where I
bearing
was.
kwanza.
Yeah, and sometimes I would find myself lying outside, like when I was staying in Narumoro. I would find myself maybe in the open.
Okay.
So you can imagine you are touching around and you realize, oh, this is grass.
I'm literally outside.
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm outside.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's just how bad it was.
It
But
was
glad
bad.
that you're here, and,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that you talk about how fulfilling that is. I mean, this is a beautiful story. And if you're stuck, just listen, a step at a time. You just never know. Find somebody who listens to you, and you will be surprised at the result.